Hello, and welcome to this special episode of the Countdown to The Force Awakens. It's about time. It's almost here. The Force Awakens is just days away. It's crazy to think that it's only been a few years since all this excitement just erupted and just obliterated the internet and the galaxy far, far away and long ago. Decades passed, way back in the day of Return of the Jedi, and probably around in the later films. Lucas has said that there was going to be 9 films in the Star Wars Saga, despite what he may have said in the last 10 years or so. But he said he had an idea for 9 films in the Star Wars Saga, and at the time, we knew that 3PO and R2-D2 were to be the only returning characters for each segment. And in the third trilogy, Luke would be the main returning character, and he would not appear until like episode 9. I guess for nobody knows why or what the story was going to be. But as the prequels came around, episodes 1, 2, and 3, Lucas pretty much cooled to the idea of continuing the saga after episode 6, and pretty much said that episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, was going to be the final new Star Wars film, and Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, would be the conclusion of the Star Wars Saga. I was perfectly okay with that. I pretty much resided in the fact that Timothy Zahn's Heir to the Empire trilogy was a suitable stand-in for Episodes 7, 8, and 9, being Heir to the Empire, Dark Force Rising, and The Last Command. It's a fantastic trilogy, and definitely it's also known as the Thrawn trilogy, and is definitely worth a read if you haven't already read it. Maybe even read it again while you're waiting in line for The Force Awakens. And if you can read all 3 while you're waiting in line, good for you. Maybe you're one of those people waiting in line right now at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood, which makes me wonder, how are you guys going to get by with the premiere just right around, just hours away, totally messing up your day? But I'm sure you guys don't care. So, it was just years ago, October 2012 I believe it was, when it was announced that Disney had purchased Lucasfilm and everything that goes with it for $4 billion. Instantaneously, everyone was wondering what that means, what that entails, and when are we going to get new installments of anything that Lucasfilm has had its hands on, in particular Star Wars, and also Indiana Jones, which later on we would learn that Lucasfilm, as bought by Disney, also has the rights to Indiana Jones. But more importantly, everybody was really keyed in on what does this mean for Star Wars. As quickly as the word spread that that Lucasfilm was bought by Disney, a new movie was already being planned. Not just a new movie, a new trilogy. And everybody was going crazy. When is this trilogy going to be? Who's going to be in it? Who's going to direct it? Who's writing it? And it's like, this is all exciting. This is brand spanking new. This is a new Star Wars with new blood, new creative force behind it. This is a whole new world for diehard fans, and including myself. And as the years progressed from October 2012, we slowly started getting an idea just where exactly Lucasfilm is going to be going. Spearheaded by Kathleen Kennedy, who many of us know from her producing work for Lucasfilm on the Indiana Jones series and countless other series through Hamilton Entertainment and other Spielberg productions. She is spearheading and is the CEO of Lucasfilm. And as the years progressed, we discovered that this is where they're making a whole new trilogy, an episodes 7 and 8 and 9, that will involve the original cast. Now, everybody was like, oh my god, are they really going to be bringing back our favorite characters? And lo and behold, yes they are. Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Peter Mayhew, Anthony Daniels, are all coming back for a new Star Wars film, which is like unheard of. One of the things that makes Episode 7 and the soon-to-come Episodes 8 and 9 so exciting is that this is a totally clean slate. Nobody knows outside of the individuals who wrote and made the film know what's going to happen. Fans of 4, 5, and 6, New Hope, Empire, and Jedi, when they found out about the prequels, we already had it in our minds of what was to come in episodes 1, 2, and 3. And unfortunately for us, we got ahead of ourselves, and we really were creating what we thought we should be seeing in terms of like the Clone Wars and Anakin and Ben's story and the courtship between Padme and Anakin and all the other things that we all wanted to see in the prequel trilogy. But our imaginations were far out of sync of what Lucas wanted to tell, and that's probably where the mass disappointment in the prequels came, is because they did not live up to our expectations. But now with new writers, uncharted territory, we never ever found out what happens after episode 6, the movie. I mean, they're books and comic books, but these don't count towards the films. So what happened after Return of the Jedi? And Return of the Jedi was a highly effective conclusion to the Star Wars Saga at the time, but of course it's like we never thought, especially myself, after the end of Return of the Jedi, that we would ever see these characters again on the big screen. I mean, it's been 1983. That's been, what, 33 years? Yeah, 32 years since we last saw these characters on the silver screen in a brand new Star Wars film. As the stories progressed as to who's involved, we find out that J.J. Abrams is directing it, and I was thrilled with that announcement. I loved what he did with Star Trek and Star Trek Into Darkness. And he's a Star Wars fan. I profess Star Wars fan. I love to hear about the story, how he was originally intended to go on an extended vacation after Into Darkness because he hasn't taken a break since taking over Star Trek. And when Kathleen Kennedy asked him to do Episode 7, he declined. But then Abrams' wife was telling him that if you don't do this, you're going to be regretting it for the rest of your life. So he basically just said okay and went on and did Episode 7. But it felt unbelievable, and like you couldn't like fathom the fact that there was a new Star Wars movie coming out, and then there was that press photo of the first table read that was just amazing to look at, and we had no context to who these people were, and we just knew they were in the movie, but we didn't know who they played. And then of course as years go by, we start to learn the name of characters like Kylo Ren, Rey, Finn, BB-8, and slowly the steamroller started like rolling on, and then we hit a hill, and it's going quickly down and accelerating really fast as we're getting closer and closer and closer to the day. The teaser trailers started rolling out, and I went to the El Capitan. I never did get to see Big Hero 6, so I went to the El Capitan for the first showing to see the teaser trailer, the first Star Wars teaser trailer, which dropped in Thanksgiving of 2014. And I was not expecting to see much. We didn't see a lot. We saw some introductions to the new characters, and BB-8 was just an amazing droid. Like saying, "Oh yeah, that's definitely got to be a special effect. That's CGI for sure." And people were excited. And I remember at the El Capitan, there was maybe only 30 people in the audience, but we were thrilled. I mean, they showed the trailer, literally showed it 6 times. Once in 2D, twice in 3D before the movie, and again once in 2D and twice in 3D after the movie. And we were all satiated and exploded on the internet. And then in Los Angeles, in particular Anaheim, in April 20 of this year, there was Star Wars Celebration arrived, and that's where they dropped the new trailer. And this is the first time we actually see even more footage, and we get to hear and see some of the characters that we've come to know and love. And that was the first time in the end of the trailer. That's the first time we see Han, older Han, and Chewie. And I remember at Star Wars Celebration, people went nuts. Now, I'm totally confessing, maybe I'm a nerd. Well, I am a nerd. But I did have tears welling up in my eyes while watching that trailer for the first time with, I guess it was 18,000 other fans. Why? Because, again, for me, it's been 30 years since I've seen these characters that I fell in love with. And I just could not believe and hear that this is it. We're finally going to see these guys back on the big screen. I was very moved. And obviously other people in the audience were moved, and I hear many stories from fellow fans, and that they, men in particular, that they had tears, or they literally had tears coming out of their eyes, and I was like, they're just like floored. And it was a geek fest, what can I say? And as the summer progressed, and we get to see more about the characters and the introductions at like Comic-Con or D23. And then finally, in this past October, they dropped the first official trailer, and the internet exploded with the new trailer with plenty of new footage, and the destruction of the internet with the arrival of ticket sales. And it's just amazing to think that in its first day, it already made $50 million, and the movie hasn't even opened yet. That's just how crazy this is going to be. So, here we are days away, and I am oddly very level-headed and calm about this. I remember, like, I am excited, but it's just like, I don't want to say that I learned my lesson from the prequels. It's just that I'm almost very zen about The Force Awakens, just mere days away. Or maybe it's because of my professional jealousy, knowing that friends or people I know are going to see the world premiere tomorrow, or going to the advanced screenings during the rest of the week. But I, like many other fans, are waiting until Thursday night to see the first show, 7 o'clock at Burbank 16 here in Los Angeles, California. So, I don't know what to expect. I guess that's one of the things I'm really excited about. I'm very thrilled to see what this new universe, this new Star Wars is going to bring. And this episode, how this episode is going to launch the new trilogy. I mean, I'm not even going to be talking about the anthology films, or the Star Wars stories, as they're now called. And obviously I can't wait to see those. But finally, we're just days away from Star Wars The Force Awakens, or is it Star Wars Episode 7 The Force Awakens? We won't know if they actually call it Episode 7 until the movie starts. And I can only imagine how insane it's going to be. I remember seeing Return of the Jedi, and I mentioned it in my countdown for review of Return of the Jedi, that the audience, in unison, read the crawl as it was going up the screen. And that was just a great experience, and something I always remember. And I remember that from way back when. So maybe that'll happen again here. But, yeah, it's just really exciting to see that Star Wars is back, and may actually be really good again. I was vastly disappointed in the prequels. It was just a lot of flash and not enough substance, and really, really got away from what Star Wars meant. And hopefully, with these new writers and this new creative force behind the new saga, that it'll get back to its original roots. I mean, you can't fail but be excited about the fact that Lawrence Kasdan, who wrote Empire and co-wrote Jedi, is involved in not only writing this one, but also one of the Han Solo film, and I believe he wrote Episode 8 as well. So it's truly exciting to see Lawrence Kasdan back, and also John Williams back to compose brand new themes. I was a little disappointed that Michael Giacchino was not going to do the Star Wars score, and only because Giacchino always works with Abrams, and I love Giacchino's scores, and I love in particular what he did with Star Trek and what he did with Jurassic World. So he seems to be the heir apparent to Star Wars, should John Williams decide he wants to hang it up and not do them anymore. But I'm very, very curious to hear what his new themes are, because one of the great things that came out of the prequels is a lot of John Williams' new themes were fantastic, oftentimes better than the movies themselves. So I'm really looking forward to see the new scenes mixed with his new scores, or even revisited and reimagined scores, and see how those sound. The soundtrack doesn't come out until the 18th, so I guess we'll find out until we actually go to the movie to hear it. So what do you have to say? How excited are you about The Force Awakens? Have you been looking forward to it? Have you been following obsessively with it? Have you managed to avoid not seeing a single trailer of this film? I pretty much stopped after probably the last TV spot that came out a few weeks ago was the last one I saw. I'm trying to avoid seeing anything now. But what do you have to say? Please comment below. In regards to my review for The Force Awakens, I believe there's a press embargo that's not going to be lifted until 12:01 a.m. Wednesday. So that means at 12:01 a.m. Wednesday, if you want to avoid any spoilers for The Force Awakens, you're probably just going to want to go into an internet blackout until after you finally see the film. As for my review, I will it will definitely be this Thursday evening after I see the 7 o'clock show, which means I probably won't go up until about 10 o'clock. I might do a pretty quick review on Instagram. I was toying with the idea of maybe doing periscoping in or maybe doing a live YouTube, but that might be a little too involved. So I think it might be a little bit easier if I just do a quick review instant review as we literally leave the theater on Instagram, and I'll post it there, and then I'll do my full review on the next day or two after I totally process what it is I had just witnessed. So if you like my if you like the countdown to The Force Awakens, please hit that like button. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do, so you can stay on top of my reviews as well as other countdown episodes and my soon-to-come review of The Force Awakens. So until next time, my friends, be safe, be excited, be vigilant, and enjoy The Force Awakens.